Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to my live. My name is Rowena and Rowena Explorez. And this segment of my live is called Rowena Parenting Without Manual. Parenting without manual, or there's no rules, no regulation. When you're a parent, you just do what's best for your child or children, because one thing may work for you and for one child and may not work for another child. There's no manual when it comes to parenting. I have a full discussion today. It's part 2 of our first discussion, where we talked with a parent whose child has autism, or who's autistic and is on the autism spectrum. So this is part 2, and this individual is now an adult. So we're going to hear from the adult side of this matter. We're going to have a good discussion today. So autism, that's the topic. What is autism, we'll ask. So according to canon disability law, autism spectrum disorder, which is ASD, is a medical condition that affects a child's nervous system, growth, and development. Parents usually notice the symptoms of autism spectrum disorder during their child's first 3 years. Get this going. Hello? Hi. Okay, here she is. Hi. Okay, hold on. So my guess is Gayatri and Raj Mangal. They're from Guyana, and they have an adult child an adult who is on the autism spectrum. So he's autistic. Welcome to my live, Gayatri. I was telling the audience that you are not able to come on Facebook due to the fact that the Facebook account got hacked.
Yes.
So I apologize, my explorers, my Facebook friends, but this is the next best thing. So she could talk to us from her phone. Are you guys hearing? Can you hear? Can you hear well? You guys out there that listening, are you able to hear? Can you speak, Gayatri?
Yes, can you hear me?
Are you guys, if you guys can hear me, give me thumbs up. Can you hear her? Gayatri?
I'm hearing you.
I know you can hear me. I'm asking them. Okay, I see the thumbs up. Oh, audio is good. All right, Gayatri. I'm getting feedback, positive feedback. Hi guys, welcome. Okay, Gayatri, how are you doing today?
I am good. How are you guys doing?
Yes, I'm doing fantastic. I remembered that we were supposed to go live 2 weeks ago, but due to some technical difficulties on my part, we were not able to do so. So,
right.
And then today's another thing, but we're just gonna go around this obstacle. We're not gonna let this bother us. This is the next best thing. Yes. So how are you doing? How is everything?
Everything is good.
Okay. I know you have a child or an adult who is on the autism spectrum. How old is he now?
He's 26.
Wow. 26 years old. How old was he when he was diagnosed, or when you realized that something was wrong? Can you tell us about that?
Okay. So when I realized something was wrong I think it's a pretty much typical story for anybody who has a child with autism, because the last time the other guest was talking, I realized how much things we had in common. But I think I mentioned to you on Friday, as an immigrant, there were so many things I didn't know. And I was also a young mother, and I had never heard the word autism or autistic before. Mm-hmm. And so he was developing fine. He was walking at 9 months.
Wow.
Yes, he was such a loving and a child. Everyone loved him. He was with a babysitter. I was working. Raj and I were both working full time, and then the babysitter would say, there's certain things he doesn't do. So I would bring it up with the pediatrician, and he was like, boys are delayed. So I went along with it. I didn't know any better. But then as he when he was 9 months, I got pregnant with my second child. So in a way, that was a different thing, and I didn't really pay much attention to certain things, and maybe that I should have noticed. But by the time I noticed it, and I kept bringing it up with the pediatrician, he would say the same thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, this delay, this happens with boys, always a different story, a similar story. So I went along with it for a while. I didn't know any better. I'm relying on a professional to tell me, right?
Right.
And so then after I had the second child, my mother-in-law was babysitting, and then she says to me that, she finds he's overly active, very, very hyper. So we thought maybe it was something he was eating or drinking. We tried to reduce juices and stuff like that, but then she would say no. And then we noticed, of course, there was really no talking. There's a lot of things that he was doing. He started regressing. Wow. So the regression was the key.
Oh, okay.
And Raj at the time was working with a woman who was auditing a lot of special ed and not-for-profit programs. And he brought it up with her. He was kind of telling her. And she said, you know what? I know of a program in the Bronx that does evaluations. I think you should try to get them evaluated. Mm-hmm. So we did go to that place. It's called These Are Treasures, TOTS. It's right near the Whitestone Bridge.
Okay, so it's here in New York. You were here in New York.
We were here in New York. Okay. We were living in the Bronx at the time. Okay. Yes, he was born here. He was born here.
Okay.
He was born here. Mm-hmm. Yes, both my kids were born here. Okay. And so we did take him there, and the person said, the only thing that she was seeing at that point in time was his speech delay. And that's what she diagnosed him with. And
so at the time, he wasn't diagnosed with autism, just speech delay.
Speech delay. But he was almost about 3 at that time. So we had missed this whole early intervention. Let me tell you how bad it was. Like I said to you, I didn't even know the word autism. I had to find a dictionary. I tried to look it up in the dictionary because I just didn't know what it meant.
Yes.
Never heard of it.
I don't think I remembered it. Growing up in Jamaica, I don't think I've ever heard the word autism either.
Right. I remember, you know what blind people, people who can't speak.
Right.
And that's the only thing I remember from Guyana. I never know what autism, people don't say developmentally challenged or whatever it is they say. So I actually picked up a dictionary, tried to see what it meant. And then there was the struggle of trying to find services for him. Oh, and then we got him into a program. It was a lovely preschool program, but again, he had missed that whole early intervention thing, which now looking back later on, I realized was a big setback for us, but there's nothing you can do about it now,
Yeah.
But we didn't know. We did the best we could at that point.
So at what age was he diagnosed with the
At 3.
At 3. How did you feel when you got that diagnosis?
Oh my God, it was like the world ended. Oh. It was like the world ended. I was numb for years. For years, numb, very numb. It was a very difficult pill to swallow, very difficult. Because it's when I started doing the research and realized what it really meant.
Wow.
And didn't know where to go, who to turn to, what to do. I gave up my full-time job, and I felt that was the only thing I could have done.
Yes.
And then I started him with the preschool on Pelham Parkway. I think they're close, called Rainbow.
Was that a regular preschool or was it a special?
It was a special ed preschool.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I met some lovely people there, and that's where it all started. And my sister was moving up to Westchester. She said, I heard where we're moving that the services are better. Why don't you guys move up here?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, and that eventually we moved to Eastchester. The services were better, but it was still tough because then we start seeing so much because of the speech, no speech.
So
very little speech, I should say.
Was he verbal or non-verbal?
He has always been verbal, but very little. Very little.
Because the young lady last week, the young lady we spoke with, her son was non-verbal.
Right. Okay. So I wouldn't say he's non-verbal because he does have some verbal skills.
Okay.
Yes. and then we had the comprehension was an issue, but he has always had a lot of behaviors,
Yes.
because he has all the sensory issues and being able to communicate, and he's very rigid, and that's one of the things you would know. People with children, one of the things they love structure.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, he likes things to be predictable.
Yes, and it's hard if they have to deviate from the from any norm. It's an issue for them, right?
It's a big issue for him.
Wow.
Yes, very, very big issue. So that throws him off, and he has to deal with it and move on before he can move on. It's sometimes he has meltdowns. That's the only way sometimes he can move on from whatever happens.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically how it started, and then the struggle of every day of getting him to school, getting him adjusted to the busing, and this whole thing. And for years we were in Eastchester until he was 21.
Wow.
And then he started the program, a day hab program in Hawthorne called Hawthorne Foundation.
Okay.
But he got speech,
and
he got OT.
Yes.
And PT.
Okay. So what? That's a lot of services. Is he still getting those services?
No, the day hab does not provide those services.
At what age do they stop providing services? Like 18 or once they...
No, well, for the special ed, they go up to 21.
Okay. So he received...
Yes, services up to 21, yes.
So how are you managing now?
Well, now he goes to the day program, basically, and that's when I'm at work. And when I get home, I'm the one taking care of him, because we would have what they call, maybe some of the parents do know that they have ComHab staff, which you know about, Rowena.
Yes, I do.
Right. So the ComHab would come and try to help. But one of the things that I regret doing, and this is any parent out there maybe should be doing different, is that because I felt, in some way, it was my fault. Don't know why. I think that's a mother thing that you feel.
Yes.
You feel it's your fault, that there was something you could have done.
But based on what I read, there's no concrete evidence of what caused it. No, they may say environmental, some say the genes, genetic, some say it's how maybe the mother's body, if you have a child who's autistic and then you have another one, the likelihood of that child increases. So there's not really any concrete evidence as to what causes it.
Exactly. So, but, I'm young and I don't know any better. And for years I blamed myself that maybe it was, keep thinking, because I would hear stories where people mortgage their home to get services. And I'm like, oh God, like maybe I should have done something like that. But you don't know.
Right. You won't know.
And it's like you're denying the rest of the people. You're denying the other child.
Yes. That's what I had wanted to ask you as well. How did you cope with a child who needs your 24 hours, attention, and another child who is okay? How do you work it? Sharing the love or just.
Let me tell you try your best, right? But one obviously will get neglected.
Yes.
It's not possible. And even she's an adult now, and she would say it's nobody's fault. She understands.
Okay.
But we overcompensated. And I think this would happen even in a typical way when you have a child with something. Yes. And you would overcompensate.
What about support, like family? Did you have? I know your husband.
My sister. Yeah, my husband. No. I mean, you ask and I'm going to tell you. So my husband, not really. His mom did help us for a while, but after that, when he was about 3, then I stayed home to help. But family support was, my sister helped me a lot. Because she didn't have kids at the time, and so they would help me with babysitting and stuff like that. Like what I was going to say, one of the things I did and I regret doing is that, again, because I felt it was my responsibility, I would take care of him and not have an outsider come and help.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I mean, because to this day, he's so attached to us, we can't get him to detach. He's totally reliant on us, and it's very, very, that's what makes our life even harder, because we don't get that break from him unless we get to go to work or when he's at program.
When he's at program. Oh, wow. Right. That must be hard.
That is the hardest part for us, yes.
Is he sensitive to sound or light or, like loud sounds? Because I've known children who are, and they have to wear like headphones or something when they're in places where that's noisy. Does he have any sensitivity at all?
He does. It's funny. They say something like this: that a child with autism is the loudest person you know, but is the very person who's afraid of loud noises. And that describes him. He doesn't like it. I shouldn't say he's afraid. He doesn't like it. But he's loud himself. It's just funny, right? But when he was younger, he was very sensitive to, like, when we go to a different, like, we would take him everywhere with us, which, looking back, was a very good thing. Because we made him adapt to different surroundings.
Yes.
A lot of parents keep their children indoors, restricted.
Yes.
We didn't do that. Because we took him, we had no choice. We felt we had no choice. We took him, and in a way, looking back to that was a good thing, because we have made him be able to adapt to those different situations.
Yes. What about traveling? Do you guys take trips on airplanes and stuff?
When he was younger, we did. We have not done it since as an adult.
Oh,
but
wow.
we would like to. I was talking to our pediatrician about it, and she was giving me pointers on things they could do. And she was telling me how I could take a short trip. Like she said, we could go to Vermont. She said it's only like 45 minutes.
Yeah. That by driving?
No, by plane, I think.
By plane?
By flying. Was it Vermont or Chicago? She was telling me there was a short flight, though. She was telling me, I think she said Chicago was a short flight, though. She was telling me how to try it. And I said, okay, well, one time we will try it, and then we could build on that. And, what I can give him to calm him and things like that. Because I was asking her,
Yes.
But road trips he loves. He loves the outdoors.
Okay.
I will tell you that.
Yes.
He loves the outdoors. He loves the road trips.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Toronto. We've gone there quite a few times because, you can drive there.
Right.
And he loves that. He loves that. He really does.
Do you, does he have activities or like chores or anything he has to, that he's responsible for at home now that he's an adult?
Well, yes. And that's one of the things I had to teach him as well, because, he's at home. So he loves to do laundry. Loves it. Right now he's doing laundry with his dad.
Okay.
Sunday's laundry day for them. And during the week, twice a week, he does my bed sheets. He does his room. He does his sheets. He cleans the room. He likes to empty the dishwasher and put away the dishes. That he does every single day.
Oh, wow.
Every single day. And that's one thing's come from the OCD. Like, things have to be a certain way.
Right.
So, like, he likes to pack the dishes a certain way. He likes to pack groceries, clean the fridge. He would know when something is low. He would tell you it's needed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so those are things that he can. He's very, very capable of doing.
So, in that case, since he is OCD kind of on those chores, what happened if you have to be away from home?
You believe it or not, he's fine. He doesn't. We would worry, But last time we went to Toronto, it didn't bother. It didn't faze him. He was just happy to be out.
Wow.
Believe it or not, yeah.
I was speaking to your husband in regards to something, and he said something like he was making a statement that he took pictures of his son and took the son, I think, to the police station.
Oh, he did that.
Can you give us that story? Because others might need to know.
Yes, he did that because they say, you hear stories every day. People don't know that children with autism, things can happen. They can have a meltdown or something. And, but somebody may see him happen. It might happen in the street. Somebody might call the cops. So, when the cops come, they won't understand what's happening. And
we know this. We know the outcome of stories like that.
Okay, so what they encourage parents to do is to go to your local precinct and let them know you do have a child with autism.
Okay.
So in the event that something happens, they can identify.
Right, and maybe call you or so and say.
Right, or like if something happened in the home and we need to call, they know they're coming in the home with a child with autism, so to be aware that they might not they're going to have somebody who's not going to be able to speak and communicate with them, who's going to be afraid of them. Yes. And not to attack him,
Exactly. So that's a good thing. When he told me, I was like, I didn't think of it like that, but that's something you can do for your child or adult autistic kids so that the police is aware of their mental health.
Right.
And not
exactly.
ask question after.
To give you an example, I went to pick him up at his program on Friday. And outside, I see two cop cars, and I'm like, oh, my God. So even though the program lets them know, so in the event that they need help, they come in and help them. So even now they're training cops to be able to deal with people with autism.
Yes, they need to. They need to be more empathetic of people with mental health issues.
Yes.
It's too often we hear of stories where it ends tragic because they cannot, deal with it. They don't know how, or they're not trained how to.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
How is he doing now?
Well, right now he's doing laundry, so he's happy. He's in a good place.
Does he have a girlfriend?
I wish. He likes girls, though. He likes girls. The guys at his program, they were like, oh, he has good taste. Let me tell you. And they would tell me, oh, he's always touching the girls here, like the staff. He likes and the girls, them like that. He flirts with them and they love it. Where
he goes to for the day program, are there other kids, are the adults there who have the same disability, or they are a mix?
They're a mix, but most of them are on the spectrum.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. So at least he's out there and he's getting
among his peers.
Right in that sense. So that's a good thing. What is one thing you like about being his mom? What's his name again? I didn't get. I think
his name is Akash.
Akash.
Yes.
Okay, Akash. And what's one of the good things about being Akash's mom?
What's a good thing about being Akash's mom? You know, there are times when he has you could tell he has a really good sense of humor.
Okay.
Believe it or not. And a lot of times you would see that. And then there are times when he just surprises you and you realize that it's all in there. It's just that he can't express it. And his sister would say, you know, Mom, he's smarter than all of us put together, because there are times he does things and it blows your mind.
Yes.
You
there was I was watching the news one day and they have this young man. He was on that spectrum and he was very smart. He was able to draw the map of the world and write he was able to label the map with all the countries and the capitals and stuff. It was amazing, their capacity, but you know, it's like they're using more brains than us, normal people. Their IQs can be very high.
Yes. You know, like they say with like blind people, that's one sense that it's other senses compensate for. So in a way, it's a kind of similar thing. You know, there's something about them that's compensated for in some way.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said he's now 26?
26, yes.
Wow. That's it's how do you guys cope though? I mean, it's tough. I mean, I know I have my kid and sometimes I can't be bothered with her. And she, so how do you cope?
Well, look at it this way. Thank God it's two of us. And we just get up and do what we have to do. And we're doing it for as long as we can do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can happen.
Right. Yes, you're right. You're right. But I can imagine it's hard sometimes.
Very, 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 very hard. There are times you don't know what else to do, you know. And then you move on, you know?
Yes. Does he respond to his name?
Party and then you move on. Sorry?
When you call him, does he respond to his name?
He would turn and look at you, but he wouldn't say like, yes, Mom, or yes, Dad.
Yeah, right.
But he would turn and look. He recognizes his name and he would turn and look towards you, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It amazes me sometimes when I see parents out there with children with any sort of disability. Sometimes it's just heartbreaking, but
yes.
Do you say he's autistic or
No, we say he has autism because you can't let the diagnosis, you got to define them differently. You got to say he has autism.
Okay.
Not that he's autistic, yeah.
Okay. Because I know, I don't know what they say politically correct.
Right. I know. That's fine.
Yes. And I don't want to, you don't want to seems inhumane or
Right,
like
right,
you don't
insensitive.
care. Yeah, insensitive when you talk to parents who have children under the spectrum. So you want to be politically correct. But sometimes we don't know. So now you're telling us, so we know not to say it.
Of course, that's
so
fine.
We'll be more mindful.
That. Yes.
Yes. So is there anything else you'd like to tell us? Give us an example of a day with you and him. Say, for instance, a day when he doesn't have to go to program.
When he doesn't have to go, like a Saturday.
Yes, like a Saturday.
Okay, so Saturday he usually sleeps a little later. Once he's up, he likes to he likes to get showered. He dresses himself. We help him with breakfast. Oh, he does make his tea every night by himself. He likes to have a cup of tea at bedtime, and he is able to do that himself. And so he has his breakfast. Then we all go to the grocery store. He gets back. He packs away his grocery. Right now, I have a one ComHab staff that I was able to hold on to because now you can't find staff. And he comes around 3 and he stays for 3 hours. That's all we have right now.
Okay.
And so he does a little activities. He takes them out for a walk. We come outside in the yard. They play a little basketball. He does some painting. Akash likes to paint. He likes to cut vegetables. So right now, every Saturday we buy okra. And he loves to cut that up. He cuts it up, and whichever way he does it is fine. Yes, I can always fix that afterwards.
Exactly.
And then later on, he helps pack the dishwasher. Once it's finished, he offloads. He empties it. We pack everything away. He does a little more laundry, and then it's dinner time, and that's it. And he likes to sit on the computer with his because he takes forever to eat his dinner. It would take him 4 hours. And listen, he's very skinny, so I think that's the secret to it. Okay?
I have a question. One of the my audience member wants to find out does he look older than his age?
No, he doesn't.
He looks younger?
He looks younger, yes.
I wonder why he asked. Denroy, why did you ask? Is that something you've noticed with other children or other adults? Let me know. You could put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to ask your questions, you could put it in the comment section so I can ask Mrs. Mangal, okay?
Yeah. Dad cuts his hair and shave his beard.
Okay.
Because it's hard to take him to a barber,
Yes, I can imagine.
So Dad learned to do that, so he does it for him.
Yes. Wow, it's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
So for support at the program, do you have to pay out of pocket, or does the government help in some way?
No, that's all Medicaid dollars.
Medicaid dollars, okay, and it's by what, OPWDD?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. How do you get qualified for something like that? And guys, this information is in regards to people in New York. I'm not sure how it works in other states. So it's just, this is a disclaimer for New York. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So how does it work to get support?
So once we were able to get him diagnosed, and we were able, first thing you have to get, now they're called care coordinators.
Okay.
And before they used to call MSC, Medicaid Service Coordinator.
Yes.
Right. So that person had to apply for Medicaid waiver services. And once you have that, you can renew it every year. And that's it for life. So you start with that, and then they are able to tell you what you can get, what services you can get, what that will pay for, and that will cover. So that's the starting point.
Okay. For you to get those services, it goes by your income, or is just the diagnosis?
Diagnosis, because it's not you who's getting the money.
It's the child.
You should go with your income, yes.
Okay.
Because that's the case, I don't know, a lot of us won't get.
That's what I'm thinking. You'll have to sell your house. Yes. Okay, so that's good. So they get the services for life, and they give them like a set amount, like a limit, like what, 6 hours?
Well, what happened eventually is as he got older, there's a program called self-direction services.
Mm-hmm.
And the self-direction, what that does, I don't know if you know about it, Rowena, but maybe you heard a little about it because you do billing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you have to get a broker, and that broker will determine what budget is needed for all the services you qualify for.
Okay.
So let's say you get $50,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then they do a budget and tell you where you could spend the money, like what is eligible.
Okay.
And every year they have a different, you can go back and say, well, I need money in this area or that area. And, well, with the self-direction, what you do is if you need to hire staff, you get to choose it, because sometimes you can go through an agency and the agency will find a staff for you, but with self-direction, you get to hire.
Can you use family members as their staff?
You used to be able to, not anymore. They stopped it.
You have to be qualified, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Before you could have used your family members, but they stopped that in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. It is.
Yeah.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
It is. Yeah. If you don't know, and there's a lot of, like I was telling you, as an immigrant, you really don't know anything. And,
right. Because it's hard to know where to go to get services.
Right. Yes. I guess the lucky thing was that Raj was working with people in the field, and he was able to ask around, and that's what helped us.
Yes. Wow. It's very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. I have another question for you.
Sure.
Is he able to identify pain?
No, that's the worst of all.
Oh my gosh.
That's the worst of all. It's, they say behavior is communication. And so you have to guess. It's all guesswork. So unless he has a temperature, I wouldn't know. And there's a lot of times I was like, you know what? I don't know where this is coming from. I'll give him a Tylenol because it's not going to kill him.
Wow.
Right? It's all guesswork. And by now, if you spend time with person,
Yes, so you can, you can communicate, yes.
What's going on, and you can pretty much say, you know what, he doesn't look like he's feeling well. But that is the worst. Yes. However, if he runs and stomp his nose, we would say ow, so now he would know ow.
Ow.
But then he would move on. But like if it's a headache, you can't tell. If it's a stomachache, you can't tell.
Can he point to anywhere, to show you where the pain is, if he's hurting?
We tried that, no. Doesn't work. We tried that too, no.
Is he in good health right now?
Oh yes. He just had his physical, and the doctor called. He's like, he's a very healthy young man. And let me tell you, the monkey junkie eats, and he's skinny. He's about 5'7" and just over 100 pounds. Okay,
wow.
Very skinny.
Very skinny.
Very skinny. Not like me and Raj. Very skinny.
Oh wow. I know Raj is vegetarian. Does he eat everything?
He eats fish and he eats chicken. Loves fish.
Oh wow. Okay.
He eats salmon at least 4 or 5 times a week if he can. And he likes saltfish.
Okay.
Yes. That's what I just made him. I cook on Sundays.
Oh wow. So you have to you make what he likes, or do you just cook and he eats what's there?
No, I have to make what he likes, or else he won't eat it.
So you have to cook 2 pots, 2 meats, or 2.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So Sunday afternoon is my cook day. Yes.
You said that he do speak certain words. What are his favorite words?
What are his favorite words? I can't really say, but mostly ma and dad, because he's always calling for us. But he does have, I would say, over 200 words. It's not like he doesn't have any words. And there are times when you can ask him to spell something, because he's a very visual person. So let me give you an example. There was one day he wanted to get his hair cut. Before, we would just see it long and cut it. And we've noticed after a while it seems that he wants to tell us he wants to get his hair cut. And what do you think he did?
He get the scissors?
No. The brand Conair? Yes. The buzzer was that. And he starts spelling it. So as he's spelling, I wrote it, and I'm like, what is this? And then eventually I was like, wait a second.
Wow.
And that's when I realized, That's what he meant.
Yeah.
So he would see something, it would register in his mind, and that's how he would be able to communicate to us sometimes.
Wow. That's amazing. That's interesting.
Isn't it?
Yes. They're very, their brain just work different from ours.
Exactly.
So whenever stuff like that comes out, it's like amazing.
Yes. So that's just one example. There's a lot more like that.
Because I was telling the audience earlier, this young lady who has a daughter who's on the spectrum, and she was combing her hair one day, and cause this is what the young lady usually do, just put her in front of the mirror and combs the hair and see what she does. And she, out of the blue, she just said, "Baby."
Really?
Yes, she's nonverbal, but for me, it's
oh my God.
She's nonverbal. She doesn't speak, and I just hear "baby." We were so excited. I'm there watching her, and I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Yes.
So we don't know what's going on inside of their heads.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's beautiful. But how do you know? Someone asking a question for you. How do you know when he's upset or someone made him mad?
He has behaviors. You would see he would get very agitated. And what I've noticed, and because I follow people on Instagram, I follow this people who have children with autism, and one of the things they would say, and I found myself, if something happened at a program or something happened at school, he would wait until he gets home, and then he would get very agitated, and you're like, wait, where's this coming from? And he saves that. He saves that. That's his way to tell you that something happened. One night, let me tell you what happened. Just this about, I want to say less than a year ago. He comes home and he's very agitated, and for the life of me, I can't figure it out. At 2 a.m., Akash wakes up, and he's spelling Michael, Michael. I went to the program on Monday and said, "Who's Michael?" Michael apparently took his lunch.
Okay.
And nobody said anything, but I guess they didn't figure that Akash was smart enough to find a way to tell us that Michael was the reason he was bothered.
Wow.
See?
Yes. Smart.
I didn't even know there was a Michael in his group.
And he spelled the name.
And he's spelling M-I-C-H-A. I'm like, Michael? Which Michael? Or Michael? I don't know any Michael. Well, there's a Michael in his group.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love to hear these stories. Yes, and I'm hoping people, anyone that's hearing your story will learn something from it. That's what my goal or my objective is, that we as parents or guardian or caretaker, we will hear the stories and apply it to our lives, or maybe people who we know, we share it to others. So, because his autism or autistic disability is different from someone else.
Yes,
and they could share. No one is the same. They have different stuff, different issues. And so we could learn we could learn from your experience. We could learn from what you're telling us. I was last week when we had that, not last week, 2 weeks ago when we had the first live, a coworker of mine said to me, I watched the live, they call it the dead live after the fact. And she said, I have a friend, and the things that the young lady talked about, I'm seeing in this friend's child. And I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to tell her to go and get the child evaluated or tested, because the things that she heard, she's seeing it in that child. And this is what I'm hoping that I will accomplish by bringing these matters of raising children or parenting without manual, because there's no manuals for us to go by. We do the best we can.
Even with a typical child, you don't have a
manual. We just do the best we can, and what will work for your child might not work for mine. But then you could hear my story and say, you know what? I think I'll try that. Maybe that will work for my child.
Right.
And I'm hoping that will be something that people who are listening to my live will take away from each discussion that I have.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I have another question.
Sure.
Does any insurance company accept him if he wants to?
Insurance company, you mean like health insurance?
Are you talking about health insurance, Denny? Because you said he has Medicaid, right?
Yes, but remember we have also have health insurance with the job.
From the job.
So what happens there, even though he has Medicaid, we use our primary insurance from the job,
right.
And anything that's not picked up, the Medicaid picks up. So we really don't pay anything.
Okay. So yes,
it's a secondary insurance.
Okay, so you do have insurance from work, and then Medicaid picks up.
Right, but if we didn't have Medicaid, should pick up everything.
Should pick up everything. Okay.
Yes. And you remember at 26, they would want to take you off your parents' insurance.
Yes, they do that for my child too. At 26, he was gone.
But for your disability,
yes,
you don't have to. You just have to get a letter from your doctor saying he has a disability, and he can stay on forever. Yes,
that's good to know too. Is it true is it America on a whole, or is it just New York with the 26-year-old and the disability?
You know what? I think it's America.
It's America. Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong, but I do think so. Yes.
Does he know anything about money?
He can recognize money, and he knows you have to go to the bank to get the money, and the money is found in dad's wallet or mom's wallet. And he knows if he wants to buy something, you have to provide money.
Okay.
But that's it, yeah.
He sounds very smart.
Well, in a lot of ways he's smart.
Yeah,
but
he is.
But his behaviors do get in the way sometimes because he can't express himself. And, and the sensory things come into play as well.
Does he hit or anything or punch or the behavior like that?
He does have those sometimes, yes.
So you guys have to put an armor on? You have to restrain him if that happened?
No, we have not had to restrain him. When he was younger, there were times we had to, yes.
Wow. Because I mean, sometimes they're so strong.
Very strong. Because they're not aware how strong they are.
Right.
They're not. Yeah. We have ways of teaching him, like we've taught him how to breathe and go through his, his issues until he can calm himself.
Yes.
Redirected, wherever this issue is, whether if it's coming from pain or from an outside source.
Right. Yes.
And those are the areas you would get it. And, like if it's something that we can see where we know we're changing a routine, then we know, okay, that it's coming from that. So we will try to get him to work through it. But if it's the pain and you can't see it, then it might take a little longer. And that's when I say, well, you know what, time to give some kind of drug here,
Yes. In reference to identification, does he have one? An ID card to say that I have a disability?
He doesn't.
He doesn't have one because you guys didn't give him one, or he doesn't require to have one?
I don't know. I think he can get one, a non-driver's ID. He can.
No, but meaning ID, like non-driver's license, just some identification that he could have on himself.
No, I don't think he needs one, but because he needs to have someone with him 24/7
all the time, so someone will always be with him to ID him.
Right, exactly.
I have another question from us.
Sure.
Do you think he has processed much from his childhood days to now? Or is he on the same level of the spectrum? Do you think with the help he might receive, any support, did it help him to move any?
Yes, somewhat. It did help him to move somewhat. Yes. Like his comprehension is better, and his speech did grow a little more, but there are certain things that never really changed.
So it progressed?
Yes, there has been progress. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's good with the progress, because that's what you want. When you give them the services, you're expecting something out of it that's positive.
Yes.
You don't want it to get worse.
And now parents with younger kids are definitely in a better place than us, and that's a fact, because the awareness is there for 12.
Yes. It is.
And because of that, you start getting services earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and that pushes it.
Yes. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Because like
But
I said, if we didn't know about it, then there wasn't much 26 years ago.
mm-hmm.
Consider now, it's so much, a lot more.
Yeah, yes. When it comes to the services that he received, do they have like experimental stuff that they will offer? Like something might come up and they say this might be good for your child to try. Do they have anything like that in your?
They have, but it has to be. I think the last time we had gone, I saw a sign on Montefiore where they say they would like to try medical marijuana, but they have to be 18. I think you have to be between 10 and 18.
So he would have to smoke it, or they would inject?
No.
Inject?
Yes, or maybe yes. I think it's inject. Yes.
Hmm.
Or maybe something you can. Maybe it's an edible. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it could be edible too. But
yes. I think it's edible. Yeah.
Wow. What are some ways that you cope with his behavior in public or when you're feeling overwhelmed?
Well, first thing you have to do if you know it's going to happen in public is that you try to get him to a safe place. And if it means bringing him to the car, bringing him back to the car. And usually that's the place that we bring him back to and try to keep him calm before we move on. Mm-hmm. But you could see and sense and hear it coming. So you can prepare yourself and know what things you have, things that you put in place. And when this is happening, let's do it. Because I try not to be by myself a lot of times,
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Because it can be overwhelming. I remember Raj was telling me a story that you guys were invited to a wedding, I think. And there was no way the all three of you could be in the same space. So one has to go in, stay a little, and then come back out, and then you go in. So wow. I was like, that's hard.
Yes.
Because you wanted to support the person who is having the event, but you guys cannot be together because you don't know how he'll react to in the environment. So to avoid any meltdown or anything, you
that's right.
Take turns being in the car with him.
Yes.
Wow. Is he ever jealous of any girls? Or of you and your attention, maybe of his sister?
Of his sister, yes. Yes.
He's a jealous one.
Oh, yes.
How you know he's jealous?
Because then he tries to intervene. He would come in front of your face and talk to you. So he's blocking the other person.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Very demanding. Because he's so used to getting all the attention, you know?
Yes.
He doesn't know how to, in any way, whether it's bad attention, good attention, it's all attention.
Yeah. So he just push her to the side.
Yes.
It's my mommy.
That's right.
Yes. Well, is there anything else, guys, who you want to ask Mrs. Mangal before she goes? She's been so supportive. I so much appreciate her being on the live with us, and she's here to answer your question to the best of her ability. I'm sorry that her husband is not available because he would have some stories to tell you.
Oh yes, and he's a talker.
Yes.
Not me.
But you're doing very well, You're doing very, very good. Because thank you so much for being a part of this show. Any other question, guys, that you would like to ask before I relieve Mrs. Mangal from her? Okay, here is one.
Okay.
Do you have in place any power of attorney just in case they think that something goes wrong with you and your husband? That's a good question.
That's what I'm working on. It is a very good question, and I have been delaying that for a very long time.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, yes. I have delayed that for a long time, but I have to get that in place. That is necessary.
Yes.
It is necessary, yeah. But I think every time I think about it, I get this tightness in my chest. And so it kind of prevents me from doing it, but I have to push forward and do it.
Yes. I was talking to a friend of mine, and her mother was ill, and she said each time when she would ask, "Did you do a will? Did you do a will?" She's like, she don't want to talk about it. It's like, you're asking me about a will. It's like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. Don't ask me about no will. So I kind of see where you're coming from and how you're feeling with, you know, it's like a reality kind of thing. Like, oh, yeah.
And it's because you're dealing with so much else, like that one thing. I don't want to think about it right now, even though you have to. It's absolutely necessary, you know.
Yes.
But it's, I mean, I'm being honest. It's just not an easy thing to really do.
Another question: Would you put him in a home?
Eventually, if I have to, when that time, if and when that time comes, I'll probably have to. But that's something else I try not to think about.
Okay.
That's not an easy thing because he's so dependent on us and knows us, and his ways are so different than things he likes. The adjustment alone might kill him. I swear. It sounds, you know, drastic, but I really do think it's going to be very tough.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
It's not like it's different. It's
different. It is, and then the first thing you worry about is safety.
And what other people might be doing to him.
Exactly. So that's the reason. And the parents, you know, will get that.
Yes.
Those who are in our shoes, yes.
Yes. Even adults who have parents like in nursing home and things that, they are very concerned. Most of them are when their parents are in others' care, how they're getting, you know.
Yes, and I've heard stories about nursing home.
Yes, so many stories.
Horror stories, yes.
So a lot of parents, a lot of children don't want to put their parents in there, or they're like, it's hard. It's hard to let go and do something.
It's a hard decision to make. Sometimes it is the only one you can make, but it's not easy.
Yes. Wow. Any other question, guys? You guys have been so active in asking questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You make this so much of a discussion than one way, just Mrs. Mangal telling her story. I appreciate your questions. If you want to come in on the live, you can request to join also. I'll talk to you, even though I don't have the experience with a child who is on that spectrum, but I'll be able to dialogue with you on any other concerns or any other issues you might want to talk about. I have another question, Mrs. Mangal. Do you find time for yourself or not to be overwhelmed? Do you like...
Okay, so let me just say this. Before I started working at WJCS, I was working part-time. When he's in program, I worked 5 days. Now I work 3 days. And let me tell you, that was meant for me, because the Wednesday and the Fridays that I'm off, or the 2 days, whichever 2 days I'm off.
Yes.
I go walking. And I do things for myself.
Yes.
That's my time.
Okay.
And that has made a big difference for me, a really big difference.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes.
You know, we do need to take time for our mental health as well.
Yes,
you know,
and that's the only way I was able to get it. It's interesting. It's like, I never had it before. Before it was like, okay, if I want to do anything, I can stay with him. And even when I'm out, I'm still scared. Now when he's at program, I have a morning or 2 mornings where the first thing I do is get out and go for a walk.
Yes.
And when I'm walking, now I'm meeting people.
Yes, and, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yes, it just, for a while, it takes your mind off of the situation.
Exactly.
And that's a good
walking
thing.
Is the best thing for your mental health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. They had that thing yesterday. What was it, for NAMI walk? Were you part of it? Were you able to participate?
Yes, that was raining too.
Oh, yes. Yes, it rained a lot. It rained all day.
All day, yeah.
Yes, I wonder how they fare out with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. It was because this month is Mental Health Month, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, wow. Let me see if I have anything else I would like to ask before you go.
Okay.
Okay, here is a question. What advice would you offer to parents who have recently become part of the Autism Spectrum Disorder Club?
you only, let me say how to, you're your child's advocate. No one else, and I mean no one else knows your child best.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to advocate for them. No matter what anyone tells you. You have to be the advocate for your child.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there, see what's out there. I mean, you're doing something, so, network, something I couldn't do, I wasn't able to do. You know what it is? The only way I could put it, let me put it this way. Autism isolates you. Because, one, a lot of people don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, the people who are like you are busy taking care of your child. You don't have downtime. You don't have time to go out there and network. And that's what's so hard about it.
Wow.
Did I answer the question?
Yes, you did. You have to be the biggest advocate for your child. And it's with everything. It's not just a child with disability, but in this case, you do have to advocate for your children.
Yes.
Because if you don't do it, they will walk all over you. They take advantage. You won't get the support. You won't get the guide. You won't get whatever.
And a lot of times the people are making decisions for your child do not have an experience with it, and only someone in your shoes can really understand.
Yes, that's correct. I agree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they want to tell you something like you don't have a child with autism.
Right.
So how are you going to tell me? And then again, as we had said before, each child is different.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah. But how are you doing today? How are you doing mentally today?
Not bad at all. Not bad. Okay. I keep myself busy. Like I spend most of the afternoon cooking. I have a few friends that I talk to, and whenever I can meet up with them, I meet up with them.
Okay, that's beautiful.
So, I don't have a lot of friends because don't have much time, but the ones who stick around are the ones who really understand and are willing. The friends that we have are those who say, listen, whether we get it or not, because the friends we have don't really have any children with a disability.
Yes.
But they would say, what area we can help you, we'll help you. Okay, so let me put it this way. Raj has a nice couple, a little older than us. Friends are very good friends. And the first thing they said, look, we know you guys can't go out a lot, but guess what? We'll come to your house and have dinner. We'll have a drink with you.
Okay.
So they found a way to make it work so we can have an adult company.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So things like that, there are a few friends who would do that for us. They were like, okay, we don't understand it, but guess what? We can do this for you. How about that?
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
They're looking, they're thinking of you guys.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, you've been a big help.
I hope so.
You have given us so much information, and I hope my audience appreciates it. And
I hope so.
if they want to ask any questions, this is it. 1, 2, 3, and Mrs. Mangal will be going. Thank you so much for coming on, Mrs. Mangal.
No worries. All right. Anytime.
Take care. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Okay, my explorers. There you have it. Parenting without manual. Once again, as I was saying, there is no wrong way. There is no right way, wrong way. You just do what's best for your child. You do what's best for your children. You advocate for your children because, nobody else could do it as better than you. You know them from the day they were born. So go out there and help each other. Thank you so much for supporting. I will come again live next Sunday, where we will have guests as well. We'll let you know what we're going to be discussing. But as I said before, we'll have guests. I will have guests that are integral to the topic that we'll discuss that day. But if you want to come on live, you can do that as well. You could request to come on live. You could tell me you want to come on live and I'll just pull you on so we could dialogue. And again, thanks for sharing. Whoever shared the live, important that you do so people will learn from each other. And this is Sunday, so go out, eat, make merry, because we got work tomorrow. Although some people have work today, tonight, whatever, but you know, the majority Monday to Friday. So once again, thank you guys for taking the time out to be with me on my live. I really appreciate it. And remember to follow. And if you didn't know or you don't remember, you could scoot over to my YouTube page as well, so you can subscribe to my channel. It's Rowena Explorez with a Z or Z. ROWENA EXPLOREZ. Same thing here on my live, Rowena Explorez. Thanks for watching. Guess she's gone to sleep now. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. Don't forget, next Sunday, this is gonna be another epic discussion. So join me at 5 o'clock. Rowena Explorez. This is it. So you can call me on that number, WhatsApp, or anything, and you can send your message as to what maybe you'd want to talk about, or what you want to hear, or something that's you are going through that you would like to discuss. That would be nice. You know, we're here for each other. Number again is 929-844-0624. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. All right, stay blessed. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the day with your family and friends, and we'll talk. So I'm gonna end the live. This was a journey. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye now.